New York City in the 1980s was a fucking mess. A city of 7 million lives, colliding in a maze of decay and poverty. A troubled city, rooted in the midst of a deep recession and the grips of a crack and heroin epidemic, bringing about high crime levels, violence and murder. So what better place to start an answering machine-based confessional project known as the Apology Line. The Apology Line project was started in 1980 by conceptual artist Allan Bridge, using new technology of the time, the answering machine. The idea was to allow New Yorkers with a secret to call anonymously and apologize for their sins.
Hello, this is Apology. Apology is not associated with the police or any other organization, but rather is a way for you to tell people what you have done wrong and how you feel about it. All statements received by Apology will be played back to the public, so please do not identify yourself. Talk for as long as you want. If you prefer a taped interview with me, leave a number. Thank you.
Throughout the length of the project, Mr. Apology recorded every confession. Most have been lost to time, but some are still available. They range from admissions of petty crimes to murders. Some are funny, others are disturbing or heartbreaking.
Hi. I'm a runaway, and all I want to say is that I'm kind of sorry that I left. See, I'm 15, and I saw your number in the newspaper. When I saw it, I had to call, because it's like, I mean, you walk around on the streets all day long, just looking for someone who just might say, hey, want a place to go? You come with me. I give you food and everything. And they won't ask for anything back. That's all I want.
Under the cloak of anonymity, people attempted to apologize for all manner of things. From petty theft.
Well, for once, I think this is a really original idea. My name's Mary. I'm not going to say my last name because I know you play these in public because I heard you on the radio. I steal from stores all the time. I really feel guilty. And, I can't stop. I'm like what you call a klepto here. And, my friends make fun of me sometimes, too. I don't know what to do. But, I can't tell my mother. I've been caught before, too, and I've been caught so many times. I've been to court and everything, and I can't stop.
To large-scale embezzlement.
I embezzled $400,000 from a bank over a period of 6 years. I feel very guilty about it, but I never got caught. I did send IRS some money after I felt very guilty to cover certain tax expenses. If I have a chance to do it again, I probably would repeat it since I have been able to live like a king.
Others called to confess harassment, intimidation, arson and criminal damage.
I'd like to apologize because I broke the town hall windows. I flooded the basement. I broke windows at the back of a store uptown. I feel pretty bad about it because I did so much vandalism. I'm only 16 years old. I did so much vandalism. If I was caught, I'd be in the juvie hall for a pretty long time, I'd say. I'm sorry for harassing the Republican officials, making the bomb threats and the death notices. I'm sorry for the terrorism, the firebombing that I was, the guy paid me to do to some guy's house. I'm sorry for the burnings in the streets of Smithtown, Long Island. I'm sorry for the way I'm calling right now. I'm calling by way of a phony credit card. I'm sorry for harassing the teacher in school. I feel bad about it. I'd like to have a new lease on life. What else? I'm sorry for just harassing a lot of people.
or apologizing for acts of intentional cruelty towards an ill parent.
Yeah, I want to apologize for something, and maybe, well, I guess it's too late to apologize for it, but I'm going to apologize for it now. My mother was bedridden for a while, and she used to get Social Security on welfare, and I had no job, and I had no way of making money. And when she was hungry or thirsty, I used to make her give me money to give her a drink. Like, she'd have to give me $5 for a glass of water, $10 for a sandwich. And now she's passed away, and I can't say I'm sorry to her, because I know what I did was probably the most horrible thing in the world. And I'll never be able to say I'm sorry to her, and I hope I go to hell and burn there for this, because it wasn't right. And if there's some way that she can hear me, I just want to tell her I'm sorry. Thank you.
Then there's those that call to confess killing or murder, like the guy who calls to apologize for the unintentional killing of his infant sister.
I've never told anyone this except my shrink. I accidentally killed my younger sister when I was a very small child, and it's haunted me all my life because I didn't really mean it. It was just a game to me. You know, I was really too young to realize what I was doing, and I was putting her head inside a plastic orange bag and putting a rubber band around her neck just to see her face turn blue. And I guess it was a lot of fun, and I didn't mean to anything bad to happen, but I guess I didn't realize what would happen if I did this too long, and she suffocated, and I hid the plastic bag, and I went out of the house. My parents weren't home, and they never found out. They thought it was crib death. They never found out I did it, and I've never been able to tell them. I think it would hurt them worse than having her, losing her, to find out that I did it. I kind of wish my parents could hear this tape, but I guess they never will.
And then there's this guy who confesses to several murders.
Hello, I'm Israeli. I want to apologize. I don't know if what I did was wrong or right, but when I was in Israel 6 months before, I killed 6 Arabs at night with a gang of other Jewish settlers. And at the time, we thought I believe still we were fighting for our homeland to keep from the Arabs. But perhaps now that I am here in America, I realize that maybe the killing is not the right way, and I want to apologize. Thank you.
The apology line continued through the 80s and into the mid-90s, receiving around 100 calls per day, ending after the death of Mr. Apology in 1995. Allan Bridge was killed while scuba diving. He was struck by a passing jet skier who was never identified. Bridge's wife has since spoken of her belief that her husband's anonymous killer would likely use the apology line to confess and seek forgiveness for their actions. Since the end of the original apology line, others have started similar projects, once again calling on strangers to lift their burdens of guilt by calling in anonymously. If you were to ever call the apology line, what would you confess?